Hello, good evening, and welcome back. I apologise for my voice, but unfortunately I'm a bit under the weather, so you'll have to bear with me. MPs reject 12th of December election plan. Yes, as we all know, that Boris Johnson had intended to leave on Halloween, and seeing as this was cancelled, he then said, okay, well then how about we get an election going in order to see what the people want, because this kind of gridlock is ridiculous. We can't continue this way because, as he now has a minority government, because previous Conservatives have decided to leave him in order to join other parties or maybe be independent. He can no longer get across the legislation that he wishes to, and this includes Brexit, most dramatically, of course. It says, Boris Johnson is to try again for a 12th of December general election, despite MPs rejecting his plan. The Prime Minister will now publish a bill that would only need a simple majority to pass, not two-thirds as required in previous attempts. He would still need support from Lib Dems and the SNP for it to pass. But it does say, the Commons backed the government's election motion by 299 to 70, well short of the two-thirds majority needed under the Fixed Term Parliament Act. And in case you're wondering about the breakdown, they said that you need 434 to win out of 650, and then you got 299 as most did indeed abstain. I'll give it a shot at mine. So this is, of course, as far as I'm concerned, very anti-democratic, because you have them saying, well, okay, let's actually leave the EU then, and the government or the parliament is saying no. In which case he's saying, okay, in that case, let's go for it, let's call an election, at which point they say no. They're basically saying, yes, we have the power in an undemocratic manner, and we want to keep hold of it. In which case we won't let that be decided by the people. We know better than they do, in a very much vision of the United kind of way. So they say the new legislation he is proposing would require a lower threshold for approval, and crucially, the Lib Dems and SNP have suggested they might be prepared to support it. However, there are arguments over the date. The funny thing is, of course, the SNP are losing ground because of the cognitive dissonance required when saying we want to leave the UK but still be a part of the EU. It's like, oh, you want to be a sovereign state but then still be held responsible and take orders from another entity. That doesn't seem to be very congruent, and yet you wish to continue with it. He says the new legislation, Lib Dems and SNP want 9th of December, which they say will prevent any chance of the Prime Minister's Brexit deal being approved before Parliament is dissolved. As we know, the Labour government and Corbyn will only agree to it if no deal is taken off the table. They say they have no trust. Here we have it saying, and quote, the Labour leader, Corbyn, said he would only support an election once the no-deal Brexit has been taken off the table. The one-line bill being proposed by the government could be amended by MPs, potentially to allow 16 and 17-year-olds to vote. If that happened, the government could abandon the bill. The Lib Dems and SNP back the principle of reducing the voting age, which as far as I'm concerned is ridiculous. I'm more for raising it, considering these people, maybe even myself, depends how you want to raise it, can't be trusted to understand and to vote for what they believe in, seeing as university is the elongation of your childhood for the cost of your adulthood. But as always, let me know what you guys think down below. Am I wrong? I'm always intrigued to hear your input. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy your week, and until next time, have a good one.